And then there's this separate little bit item we are getting from Citigroup, warning of the distinct possibility, post all of this health drama with Hillary Clinton, that, yeah, Donald Trump could win. Quoting from that report, a 35% probability for a Trump victory is more meaningful than investors are appreciating. As the Citigroup points out, political probabilities are not like blackjack. There is only one roll of the dice, and 35% probability events happen frequently in real life. I don't know what that means, but 35% means that it could happen. There's a one-third chance that it could happen. And this health scare has just increased those odds. Charlie Gasparino, on what the heck is going on here? People who dismissed this before are now thinking more about it.
Well, I mean, after Hillary Clinton's health scare on Sunday, Wall Street firms started stepping up and basically saying she could be very ill, or she may not have enough stamina to make it through this very grueling process, which is the next 60 days, the home stretch of the presidential campaign.
That's the uncertainty part. Right?
And then that could leave the opening for him to win, for Donald Trump to win. Plus, we
should posit here, and you're always good at this, this is not a right or left statement. You're saying markets are more uncertainty. The more the uncertain prospect looks like it could happen, the more they get annoyed.
Now, why is Donald Trump uncertain? I mean, we have to point that out. He has a very good tax plan. He has a very good regulation plan. And that's why B of A came out yesterday, Bank of America, and said the economy could take off, you know, just as well as it could be stagnated. The problem with Donald is the trade stuff. Scares the hell out of investors. You know, if you have a trade war,
tariffs and trade wars,
if you make it difficult for Apple to operate in China or overseas, which is some of the rhetoric that's coming out of Donald's mouth, that would be a problem for the markets and the economy. And then the instability aspect, you know, that he might not know enough about world events, about what's going on in the world, and may do something rash. That clearly gets put into the equation.
They don't necessarily buy all of Hillary Clinton's views on taxes, investments.
Hate a lot of it.
But they know what they're getting. They don't know what they're getting with him. And they bet on her getting, and as I said, a 65% probability, and that's down. But they're pretty convinced that she will get it. They know what they're getting. With Trump, they don't.
That's what they're saying. Now, they're becoming less convinced she's going to win. Now, if you read both reports, and I'm going to do a write-up on this on foxbusiness.com, so you can read the whole thing. Both reports should give...
Well, are you holding back with me?
No, no, no. I'm just saying that, you know, it is
You're giving me the teats.
I just want to promote our foxbusiness.com too a little bit.
I like
But in any event, you know, they give still her the probability of winning based on the Electoral College, but there's a growing probability he will win. And what they're essentially saying is factor that in to your investment analysis. He's a wild card. Stocks can be very volatile. My view is simply this. If you think Donald Trump is going to win the election, you wait until the markets crater after he gets elected, and then you start buying.
So you're like Mark Cuban. You're convinced that's the kind of thing that
but unlike Mark Cuban, I'd be buying stocks, because here's why. If he really does, if there's a Republican Congress and he really does the regulatory reform that he wants to do, scale back on Dodd-Frank, let banks lend, get rid of some of those crazy EPA regulations, and he has a pretty formidable stimulus plan. He wants to build roads and bridges. If he gets some of that in, or a lot of it in, if he helps improve Obamacare, that's got to be good for the economy.
Bottom line, in the last week, things changed. Quoting from this report again, Americans who think the country is on the wrong track dominates our thinking and our betting. And all of a sudden, that becomes central to the Trump campaign.
You know, if Hillary Clinton looks weak in those debates, it's going to be hard for her to win this election. I mean, I think...
Is there a different bar set for him, though?
He's got a lower bar, as you know. And he just doesn't have to look like he just has to look like he knows where Afghanistan is on the map almost. I mean, I'm serious. I mean, he does not have a high bar. Then again, he could lose it in one debate by just, you know, ignoring geopolitics and throwing haymakers at her and making himself look like a bull.
Real quickly, any news on Monsanto? Any updates?
Well, here's what we do know. They're in final negotiations on this. We think a decision is going to be made based on our sources in the next 48 hours. The Monsanto board is going to be voting on it today. Bayer's board is going to be voting on it.
Bayer had raised its offer.
It raised its offer to $125.50, I believe, and it may go higher. We don't know whether it's all cash or whatever. Look, both stocks are down. It's fascinating that Monsanto's down. That's the market telling you they still think dollars to donuts in the end of this thing. The regulators, even if they do approve it, and by the way, it's not finalized. I think it's likely to happen, but the market is saying dollars to donuts. The EU regulators and the U.S. regulators might nix the deal in the end.
You're the best, buddy. Thank you very much. Charlie Gasparino.